Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. We continue exploring and work with World Machine. What I want to do right now is more concentrate on different maps and also how we can, after producing maps, how we can go inside Photoshop as example and enhance or selectively work with some specific areas to bring even next step when we start working inside the Vue with those maps. So right here example, I have an advanced Pearl noise and I'm just setting this mountain ridge kind of effect. We can do kind of preset this way, or we also can go inside preview and just creating a kind of line by ourselves. So it's up to you how you like to do it. I'm just going right here, select ridge. Okay, this is look maybe about right. Okay, let me zoom out, see if I can find any. These ones mountains also look good, so I'm going to see how this one preview, or this one's actually even better. So right here, and I'm probably use this side of the mountain in a view, so I'm just going to scale, bring right here. Okay, so we have it, our mountain. Next I want to apply a very simple erosion to this, so we'll go, actually, you know what, let's pop up just elevation. Kind of adjusting. Okay, channel erosion, I like that one, will provide the strongest effect. And you know what, let's go do this way. We'll go click OK, lock, let's go right here so we can preview. Okay, open our filter so we can actually preview inside, see how it will work. Okay, let's go enable. Let's create a way more dramatic look. Mount, and we're gonna pop up a bit more on a rock hardness, so it will have it those nice deep lines. Okay, let's preview. So we can go all the way edge. Now I think about right here will be nice. Again, you can play and set up how you like it. Okay, let's very fast preview. Yeah, it's look nice, sharp details, and probably can go from this point when it's render and maybe leave it too sharp. So I'm just going inside and take rock hardness a little bit down. Okay, so right here we have it, one is applied, and of course we have it, all our maps ready to use. This is kind of a basic one. I'm going now to set a higher resolution, so for this map we'll click OK. And let's go ahead, start render. Will pause the tutorials and come back when the render is completed. Okay, so right here we have it finished building. Okay, it took about 37 minutes. So let's click OK. And now I'm going to just save. So we have it mountain ridge. Okay, our floor map, our wear map, and our deposit map. Okay, what's happening with, before I do other things, if you look on a height map on the floor map, if we do plants, and that's what I want to do, place, a lot of time they're actually growing by the flow right here. It's where water going down bring soil and plants growing. So I want to adjust some system right here, and let me go export now. Okay, and we'll go in Photoshop and I will show you what we can do with some of those height maps. Okay, so we're inside the Photoshop, and just overall kind of basic to showing how we can enhance inside Photoshop. So right here as example, this can be those flows. I know they look ugly, it's my drawing, but they're representing. And what I want to do with them, I want them do not display, for example, on these areas where is a dark. And in some cases what we do, we need to darken them up. We can take a brush, or we can actually take two different maps, and using the darken we can remove some of those areas. You can see how the layers apply. So this way, let's go ahead and open, okay, these two, our height and this, and as example we're going to copy this, paste on top, and if we just set darken right here, you can see we darken on the bottom. So what I want to do, okay, let's take this on top, normal, darken this way, and just inverse. So right here it's our top of the mountain, and you see how darker it is, so brighter a little bit on the bottom. This way we can control a little bit better where distribution. For example, I want more trees be on the bottom than top, so right here I already specify by height, kind of applying this way, but also I can just slightly readjust even more that way. And we can do this by adding curves or levels, depending on what you're more familiar. And you can see I can cut some areas, like right here, take darker areas off, extended them from the top, bring a little bit more this way, brighten up, so a little bit more contrast, what I wanted for, and extend. So I'm cutting off this top part, elevations, and right here, and will allow only plants going on the bottom if I use this as an ecosystem. Of course, with the Vue example we can use other ways, but as a map distribution, just as example. So right here, let's bring even brighter, kind of higher contrast. So right here will be our distributions. Okay, next I'm going to save this map and we'll go use it inside the Vue. Okay, so inside the Vue, let's work on our mountain ridge, kind of with the ecosystem and other projects. So right here I have my terrain. I'm going to probably set this size right now, and I know it's 8 kilometers, but I'm going just to set 4 by 4. Okay, and maybe right here set 2000 only, actually maybe even 1500 meters. Yeah, it's still a little bit too tall, so let's go just to 1 kilometer. Okay, we'll take our camera, move slightly out. Okay, now we'll go and edit object for our terrain, go reset, and I know it was high resolution 4000, so it's what I'm going to set. I'm going to add and load our image. Okay, and right here we have mountain height. Click OK. We can increase or decrease what we needed. I'm probably just settle around size right here. Okay, click OK, and I probably will go from this side. Let's look nice. Okay, click OK, and you know what? Let's go take my camera and just reposition around this area so we can preview. Okay, the one thing, because it's too high, sometimes you can take terrain and just bring it down. And right here on the top, you can watch when you bring down. You see how it starts disappearing, so probably this is lowest point. I'm only doing this so the atmosphere height will be a little bit lower, so I can rework, but you don't need to do that if you don't want to. So you can create all original kind of look. Okay, the next thing's kind of, I don't like this reach, so we can rework on that one. Okay, repositioning. And we'll see if we need to readjust a little bit more afterwards. Okay, for now I think this will work for the beginning, so we can look on some terrains and let's see what we have so far. Okay, and you can see we have nice terrain, you know, maybe a little bit too steep, so let me go just bring it, maybe flatten more down. Okay, and then we can bring camera down, of course, because of that. Okay, preview one more time, see. Okay, yeah, that will create a little bit nicer. Again, we can rework, bring up and down anytime, which is nice about this. Okay, now I'm going to work with materials, and again, the basic one, the first default, you want to load it. That is a main color you want kind of overlay. You can change any time, but it will provide kind of almost basic for yours mountain. And we have some very nice ones. So let's go with this gray mountain rock. This is it's based, if I'm right, on a parallel noises. Yep. So that's what we're going to use. World standard stat. I just want to overview how much details we have here. It's a little bit noisy, so maybe too noisy. Let's switch this to default a little bit, but again right here we want to do a black one, so I don't want to override any colors at this moment. And I think this will work a little bit better, so it's not too noisy. Okay, next let's go ahead and add some of the materials we have. The one actually in the side I want to add where the grass will grow, and that will be, let's get 0 here, object parametric. We'll just take a 0 and add. Okay, so our depth and bump maps, and right here scale we can actually go quite a bit lower. Okay, next transparency. Again, we'll go use the variable transparency for this. Add image, and I want to actually use it flow for that. Okay, let's flip so it will be other ways, and also binary set. Okay, preview. Okay, you notice it does not necessarily fit, it's kind of going over line, so let's see what we have it, and of course it's a scale was wrong. Okay, we set scale and now it's fit perfectly. Okay, the next thing is, because it's kind of with depositing, we want to put it over, or actually under another layer, it will be the where deposits happen. So let's create new layer. For these ones, we probably can use just grass variation. Object parametric again. 0. Okay, color set properly. 001. Okay, we'll go to transparency. Edit transparency. We'll go add deposits. That's what I want to do. Okay, let's click OK, inverse that one, and this is a little bit, I can see a little bit too wash out, so I want to bring contrast to this. So I want to add kind of a little bit more dark areas to that. Okay, let's click OK. Again, I'm just verifying all settings. Okay, and I'll bring this down so it's a deposit. And this is our flow. Click preview. And you can see the flow is a little bit very strong sometimes, so maybe you'd almost go and take it quite a bit down so it doesn't stand too much out, but it's still present right there very nicely. Okay, and I'll go up this one on a bump. Okay, so next we needed where map on top, and that one actually we want to use it. Maybe let's look at the rocks, something reddish color, and we have some nice ones here. I think clumpy rock may work okay as a beginning for this. And 001, so just reduce because I'm going with object parametric for this, and you can see how much bumps already set. Okay, highlights, let's go to highlight. Okay, we'll go to transparency. So actually wrong, I don't want it connect this way. I want to connect to a variable transparency so I can preview easy that node. Okay, and we're going to set this one as the where map. Let's flip over, and as well, add contrast to this, same like what we did with the other one. Okay, set OK, preview. You see how much now with this where add nicely coloring, look very natural colors. So let's set one object parametric, preview again, so it should even better. Yes, it's add very nice. And we can also take this and putting a little bit below, so let's see if it's progress right here. Okay, however, this flow is a bit too strong, so let me bring it down and see, just bring it some effect. Okay, so this is look nice. Next, what I want to do is actually working on ecosystem, and we can have it two ways. One, we can do just take a flow, let's copy that function and just do two-way, and we can see it. We'll go to add plants, let's go inside the trees, and we can select some of the trees. So we have a mature tree, that one, let's add. Okay, I'm going to density, enable variable density, and we'll just pass then the function. Only one thing we want inverse because it will be on a whites way, will be populating. Let's click populate. Okay, so right here you can see where it's populating a lot of areas. Okay, let's go to reduce density. Actually, I click populate, I need a, so we have it just populated in the areas where the flow appear, and right here we can actually go presence and take from top to remove it. Okay, or other ways, it's what we prepare map before. We can go right here, take ecosystem map, let's click open. Okay, click OK. Let's click populate, and you can see it's populate just on the bottom. It's why I want it, so I don't want populate on top, and it seems like doing good job with this. Okay, let's shrink, increase this way, density, we'll click populate again. Okay, let's click preview. And here's our populations going in those specific areas. We could even reduce more on amount of this. An example, we can actually take this map and modify a different map, see how that will work. For example, the deposits, if you can compare these two maps, you can see deposits have it less right here and more kind of in a string. So we can do this one where we'll go on the top. So let's actually try deposit and see again how that will work. And this one you can see it's populating this area, so this one maybe actually work a little bit better, except I want to increase contrast a little bit, and mostly to bring darker in some area, a bit more contrast curve almost. We'll click OK. See the nicely contrast going in this area. We'll go now scaling and shrink, just reduce on that one, make it smaller, pop up density. That will add a very nice ecosystem population, so we can pop up even higher density now. Not so many. Okay, going right there. Next, I want to actually take now flow. Let's bring on top and bring a little bit higher, because with the plants we can see how they will come. Okay, where? So they all look good. Okay, let's preview what do we have it. And again, with flow we'll have it in a nice area. Okay, so right here we have it a nice cover. It is have it kind of missing some effects. So we have nice trees going through places and populating and right, but it does not look naturally. And most cases because we don't have all of this effect on maybe need to apply on a flatness. So what I want to do it is click OK, take terrain actually, and increase height this way. Okay, we'll take main camera, pop a little bit up so we can preview. Let me see if I can find even more interesting point to look from. Bit right here. I like how this tree is going in this area, so this is what I want to cover and preview. And of course always we can go to user define and just make it wider so we cover more terrain this way. Okay, back to terrain and materials. I'm going to add probably new material, and we'll just take the grass. World standards work just fine. You can see it's overlaid everywhere. But because the rock and need to look a little bit better with the trees, I want to work a little bit on the environment. So I'm going to set a little bit on the flat areas. And kind of going participating on the okay, you can see we add nicely in those areas. I think this will add nice touch to this terrain, a little bit softer, maybe even reduce a little bit more this way. Okay, next let's go take our sunlight and just create some nice looking view, because lighting will affect a lot of how the terrain will look. Properly shadows. Okay, right here. We'll go to atmosphere editor now. Let's go set lighting to global radiosity. Okay, I'm also going to add ambient and bring way darker desaturated, so it will bring those sunset colors to us. We can go add clouds, and you know what, let's take bring them up kind of so we can see them but not too high, and take density down and set this one maybe to 2 scale. Okay, as well altitude variation, pop up on details, and let's see if we can bring this way. Okay, let's add a little bit of the haze, distance haze to our mountain. Remember they are 4 kilometers. Okay, and one more thing right here, we can add a little bit glowing on the sun, so it's this area will glow more, but I want to create kind of more distance on that. I'm just looking also on the density on the clouds, so I don't want too dense, but I don't want them be just blobs. Okay, I want to also take a little bit more of that sky, and it's look a little bit too dirty for me, so I'm going to reduce cover on the clouds. Okay, we'll take main camera, move it away far a bit more, and reposition so we have it maybe about 2/3 like this. So bring a little bit more cloud in, and of course the ground we can just make it darker, so right here this piece kind of disappearing for us. Okay, let's go to terrain. Okay, let me we'll go sun, and bring a little bit closer. We can bring fog, and just I want to see right here how much that will affect, because we have this area that is look too dirty, so it's kind of need a little bit cleaning. Just adjusting. Bring a little bit more bluish. Okay, clouds again too many, we need to reduce on the cover a little bit more. Okay, and let's add also some other clouds. We'll go to probably stratus will work, just something they're going over, but right here with this you want to actually take density and bring down, so just some small clouds will go around. Okay, let's preview one more time. Okay, overall it's start cleaning a little bit better. Interesting clouds, too high on details, just need to reduce details on the clouds. Right here maybe a rework, bring sun closer and pop up on the lights. It's kind of looking around and see almost what need to be done. Okay, let's go in the sky, and one thing I want to do, just literally just little bit take down, but it will bring quite a bit saturation in. Okay, and this one, let's see if we bring haze down, it will make quite a bit saturated darker right in this area, so we probably want to add a little bit. Okay, as well let's pop up a little bit on a sun glowing from this area, and if we increase you can see it's give it a little bit too much for us, so actually we want to take this to about 85. That will give it us clear blue sky right here, but same time with the increasing glowing sun, let's give it nice hot spot going from this side. Okay, just readjust atmosphere and see, so we don't have too much bluish but balanced, well balanced color. Okay, let's take our sun, bring a little bit more. And a little bit down. So let's give it this interesting sunset colors, but again, I don't want overdone, so you almost need to kind of play around and see. Okay, as well, till we do this one, I want to edit shadow and just bring to about 86, a little bit softer. So let's go ahead, preview. Okay, so right here, kind of done rendering. Couple of things I want to modify before final. It is still reduce even more on the shadows, overall density. We're also going in the light and bring more on sunlight. So it's increased contrast, but we don't have those hard shadows, what I wanted. Okay, next let's go to our plants and add some details to our plants. Okay, I'm going to bring this closer and up. So right here, I just noticed kind of it's look okay, but we need to bring, let's make it a little bit look more interesting. We can do this by bringing almost like a plant around here maybe. Okay, and I'm just going Alt and copy because I don't really, just rotate, readjusting. Okay, just put it in distance. So I will and put it maybe one more around right here somewhere. And again, those ones you won't see real details. Kind of, but okay, so they look okay, and maybe one more just to cover right here, this area. Again, we don't want to have it too high, so kind of going almost peak, and it's going down this way. Can rotate this, and so we can little bit change look, can shrink down slightly. Okay, overall we're creating this line going down, same as our terrain. And again, because terrain kind of repositions sideways, you can see it. That should work very well for us. Okay, I'm having one more preview because I just put it those plants before we go to final. Okay, so right here it's look good. Just pitch on the atmosphere, reduce the kind of yellowish color. So let's go to light ambient. We'll bring this a little bit brighter. Okay, also add just a little bit pitch down on saturation. That should will bring nice effect. And so overall just reduce slightly, kind of make it more bluish, and again pop glowing right here, so we'll bring kind of nice cyan going to red colors with a glowing effect. So this will bring distribution right here. Okay, maybe a little bit too much. Okay, and 46. 6. Sometimes you kind of almost need it readjust, so we'll go light set OK. I'm going to render now in final, but you want to go high resolution, and I'm going to pause this tutorial while it's rendering and come back when the render is completed. Okay, so right here we have our image finished rendering. Let's take over our something right here. For example, I will probably work a bit more on details line. You can see it's probably from generating some effect before, but overall right here you can see our mountains were applied very nicely. Mostly what I was looking at is for material distributions inside the view. You can see we have it very nice materials going on the side, apply very nice on the steepness, as well as our plans going in a nice direction. Thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. Please remember visit us on the web is www.geekatplay.com.